I think, since we've kind of all gotten together.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's going to use the mic again, and then I'll test it.
Are we all here? Hey, here we are. That was much faster. Y'all are getting good at this. All right, well, good morning, everybody, and my name is Rebecca, if we haven't met yet, and thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks for participating in our happy little experiment of having church around tables and discussing and leaning in and getting to know each other, and even though it's different, I'm super appreciative of how you guys have leaned into that. I just leaned too far as I was modeling that, and that would have been really bad. Just to highlight really quick, Ethan mentioned the bell ringing. That's the Salvation Army bell, and so we choose one Saturday in December and man the doors at Fred Meyer. So you're indoors, you're not like out in the elements. Wear your Christmas sweaters, your jingle bell earrings, sign up with a friend, and cavort and laugh and sing Christmas carols, even if you sing badly, and spread some Christmas cheer for those who are shopping during the holiday season, and hopefully for the workers too, because it's not hard, it's not easy being a regional worker during Christmas season. So, and another quick note: Gary and Joy are out of town today with all their kids. All their kids are at home with them, so that's why you don't see them here this morning. And just to clarify, we're doing the tables for our Advent series. When we come back in January, we'll have the sanctuary back to how you would expect it. And we might do this again sometime, but this is just for our Advent series. So for those of you who were wondering, that's the status of this. And so as we're in the Christmas season, as we're in the Advent season, you talked about your happy places, and I thought of lots of things, but Nate pointed out that currently my happy place is Kittitas Cafe. And it is, if you don't see me in my office very often anymore because I'm just working at the cafe. I ran into several of you there this week, actually. And so, but this is a season for like fireplaces and candles and Christmas movies and snuggly blankets and slippers and hot drinks. Maybe you like to make cookies or fudge or family recipes. And it's the season of sweet times with family and friends, isn't it? Yeah? Okay. Yes. So did you, thanks Alicia, did you know that there is a phrase that describes this kind of experience? It's a Danish concept called hygge. Have you ever heard of this before? Yes? A couple of people? Okay. I've been recently learning about hygge and reading a book called The Little Book of Hygge by a Danish author, Mike Viking. And it's as difficult as it is to pronounce, it's even harder and more complicated maybe to explain it. So the quote from the author says, hygge has been called everything from the art of creating intimacy, coziness of the soul, the absence of annoyance, taking pleasure from the presence of soothing things, cozy togetherness, cocoa by candlelight. It is a sense of well-being based on usually good food and good company, or hominess. And hygge is actually a deeply ingrained part of Denmark. Danes consider it a defining feature of their cultural identity and an important part of just their national DNA. It's like what freedom is to America, or what thoroughness is to Germans, or what that stiff upper lip is to the British. Hygge is to Danes. And Denmark is known as the happiest country in the world. And so maybe they have discovered something about joy in their practice of hygge. And joy is also a concept that sometimes we have a hard time defining. What is joy? It doesn't mean that everything We all look for things to bring us pleasure. We want to feel good, but do we seek joy? Let's look. We're going to watch the video that looks at joy throughout Scripture. Ready?
Try again.
Being in a good mood is really great, and most languages have lots of words to describe the experience, like happy, cheerful, joyful, and so on. The same goes for the languages of the Bible. In ancient biblical Hebrew, there's a variety of words, like simcha, sason, or gil. In the Greek New Testament, there's kara, euphrosune, or agaliasis. Each word has its own unique nuance, but they all basically refer to the feeling of joy and happiness. Now, what makes these biblical joy words interesting is noticing the kinds of things that bring happiness, and also seeing how joy is a key theme that runs through the whole story of the Bible. Let's start with sources of joy. On page 1 of the Bible, God says that this world is very good. And so naturally, people find joy in beautiful and good things of life, like growing flocks or an abundant harvest on the hills. The poet of Psalm 104 says, "A good bottle of wine is God's gift to bring joy to people's hearts." People find joy at a wedding or in their children. There's even a Hebrew proverb that compares the joy that perfume brings to your nose with the joy a good friend brings to your heart. However, human history isn't just a joy fest. The biblical story shows how we live in a world that's been corrupted by our own selfishness. It's marked by death and loss. And this is where biblical faith offers a unique perspective on joy. It's an attitude God's people adopt, not because of happy circumstances, but because of their hope in God's love and promise. So when the Israelites were suffering from slavery in Egypt, God raised up Moses to lead them into freedom. And the first thing the Israelites did was sing for joy. Even though they were in the middle of a desert, they were vulnerable, the promised land was still far away, they rejoiced anyway. Later biblical poets looked back on this story and they remembered how the Lord caused his people to leave with joy, his chosen ones with shouts of joy. This joy in the wilderness, this was a defining moment, a way of saying that the joy of God's people is not determined by their struggles, but by their future destiny. This theme appears later in Israel's story, when Israel suffered under the oppression of foreign empires. The prophet Isaiah looked for a day when God would raise up a new deliverer like Moses. That's when those redeemed by the Lord will return to Zion with glad shouts, with eternal joy crowning their heads. Happiness and joy will overtake them. And while the Israelites waited, they chose joy to anticipate their future redemption. This is why it's significant that when Jesus of Nazareth was born, it was announced as good news that brings great joy. We're told that Jesus himself rejoiced and gave thanks to God his Father when he began to announce the kingdom of God. He even taught his followers the same joy in the wilderness, saying, "When people reject you or persecute you for following me, rejoice, be very glad, because your reward is great in heaven." After his death and resurrection, Jesus commissioned his followers to go out and announce the good news that he was the risen King of the world. And as they did so, the early Christian communities were known for being full of joy, even when they were persecuted. Like when the Apostle Paul was sitting in a dirty Roman prison, he could say that he's chosen joy, even if he gets executed. He called this the joy of faith, or joy in the Lord. He believed it was the gift of God's Spirit, a sign that Jesus' presence is with you, inspiring hope in the midst of hardship. And when you believe that Jesus' love has overcome death itself, joy becomes reasonable in the darkest of circumstances. Now, this doesn't mean that you ignore or suppress your sorrow. That's not healthy or necessary. Paul often expressed his grief about missing loved ones or losing friends or his own freedom. He called it being full
gonna lead with that?
Well, I was like, I was intending to give to the,
I was half listening.
and then I was like, oh,
We need to find joy when there's not joy. I think.
I heard the part about, it's not circumstantial, basically.
Right.
We don't ignore the grief or pain.
Talking about Paul in prison. Was like one of my favorite like stories.
Right. Like, joy is not based on circumstance.
Is that the question?
There was just the first. Oh, there is. Rebecca's been the one, the dancing, but I'll do that one. He's the shade of the something deeper and richer than right. Turn your frown upside down. I can feel that way sometimes. I've had Christian people before say, Christians should be the happiest people on earth. It's like, well, I don't disagree, but I was in the middle of a depression at the time, and it doesn't help.
I don't think that's the default.
Force each other, so people who have been doing something new or different, sharing about it, thinking at the process of that, and lots of questions, and lots of compassion.
So how many different schools does that involve?
Right now, there are 2 in Alaska,
Oh,
1 in northern Idaho, 2 in
To finish
Oregon.
up your kind of last thoughts, hopefully where we got to share a little bit, leave you wanting more, so to speak. So one of the things that stood out to me was the variety of things that joy is used in reference to. It's big and small things. There's a lot in there, and I did remember to put the scripture references from the video on the back of your note sheets this week, so if you take that home, you can go back, and that's only, guys, that's just a smattering of the verses that talk about joy through scripture. For example, I searched joy in the online Bible I used, the New Living Translation, and I got 333 hits for the word joy. And that includes like joyful, joyfulness, like anything with the word joy. Rejoice required its own search, and it was 138 results or verses. Somebody do quick math. How much is that? Anybody? 471. That was close. Good job. I did the math on the calculator earlier today. I did not just do that. So if you searched happy or happiness, you got a combination of 67. So joy is by far a word that is used throughout Scripture, Old and New Testament. I didn't break it down by section in that way, but I've seen that this, we've talked about, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, this differentiation between happiness and joy at times. And in some ways it's helpful to draw a distinction, because usually what we say is that happiness is determined and is dependent on our external circumstances, right? Whereas joy is based on our internal state. Or maybe we could say that happiness is pursued, but joy is chosen. And in some ways, I think separating these two ideas is helpful. But maybe we've separated it more than we should, because I think some of the examples that we see from Scripture that the Bible Project looked at is that joy can be simple. Maybe it's just me, but I have thought about joy as always having to be grandiose. Like it has to be large, it has to be super spiritual. And so maybe I've just over-spiritualized it in some ways, but maybe some of you can relate. And maybe we need to embrace joy in the simple things. The video referenced friendship, food and drink, children, or events as bringing joy. And not all of those things are grandiose internal revelations of joy or intense spiritual events. They are simple. I was having a rough day a couple weeks ago, and Nate had changed Isla, but hadn't put a new set of clothes on her yet, so she was just her cute little chunky, soft, cuddly self in just a diaper, and was giggling with me as I grabbed her, and was happy to see me, and I just lit up. I was just like, oh, I needed this. And so we giggled and blew raspberries on her perfect little tummy, and I said to chubby little giggling babies. And I needed that joy in that moment. Because the things can make us happy that also bring us great joy when they're in alignment with the Lord. Talk about food and drink and friendship that brings us happiness and joy. Maybe we only get stuck if we're only focusing on the external reasons for happiness versus also cultivating the inward ones. But joy can be simple. It can be lighting candles in your home, or remembering to appreciate the sunset and thank the Lord for it. Joy can be simple. Where could you cultivate simple joy in your life? That's not a discussion question, that's just for you guys to think about. Secondly, and just as importantly, joy is powerful. It can be something simple and meaningful, or it can be deep and poignant. Because we know that joy isn't necessarily depending on how good things are going in our lives. The video said, the quote that they used said, it's an attitude God's people adopt, not because of happy circumstances, but because of their hope in God's love and promise. Because of the joy that we have, because of God's love and promise, it's based on a deep conviction and the confidence of who Jesus is. So as simple as joy can be, it is also deep and confident in who Jesus is. In Romans, Paul wrote, "Oh, what joy for those whose disobedience is forgiven, whose sins are put out of sight. Yes, what joy for those whose record the Lord has cleared of sin." We sing joy to the world, or the weary world rejoices, because we need something to celebrate. And that is powerful. When we're reminded of this, what joy for those whose record the Lord has cleared of sin, it is powerful. In the tediousness and the pain and the messiness of our world and lives and family, we need a deep, abiding joy. And we feel this deep joy a little more at Christmas. Or I hope we do. When we consider with awe the God of the universe came down, not just in human form, but as that snuggly, helpless, perfect little baby, with the purpose of redeeming his world to himself. That gives us the perspective of Jesus. And the powerful way that he lived a joyful life. In Hebrews 12, it says, therefore, it's a longer passage, but we'll get to the joy part in the second half. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. Think of all the hostility he endured from sinful people. Then you won't become weary and give up. Because of the joy awaiting Jesus, he endured the cross. And we'll dive into this more in a minute, but we both get to experience deep, powerful joy now. And also we can see how we endure with the knowledge of what is to come. The last time of discussion for you guys, where do you need joy in your life? What is something you can do this week to cultivate joy? Try and think of something really practical you can apply. And discuss with your kids.
I was so
puzzle.
excited.
Yeah.
Not crossword puzzles. Jigsaw puzzles? That's right. Yeah, just like
Oh,
thousand piece
the
puzzles.
puzzle. Yeah.
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 So once I'm done with this conference and all the wrap up things, I would drop them in the rest of the week. I'm gonna keep all those puzzles. Got a few in my closet.
Waiting for me. Come on back. Okay. Here we go. So maybe if you're comfortable, maybe like 2 or 3 people, just what is something you're gonna do this week to cultivate joy? Just shout it out.
Go for a drive.
Okay? There it is. That's my mom. Yep. Atta girl.
Shout out Psalm 118:24 every morning.
Somebody look that up for us.
Look at all the beautiful lights.
Christmas lights, okay?
Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Anybody else?
Go to Sky's house and try rail.
I feel like all of us were just invited. So the Sheltons are gonna host us all for prime ribs. That's what I just heard. So I think something that occurred to me this week is that I asked myself this question as I was praying and studying for the message. Is it joy if it's not shared? And I felt challenged by that, and I'm not sure if I've settled on an answer. I think it still is, but there's something about sharing our joy with others. Even if it's something we're gonna do by ourselves, we can still share the joy that brings us with others. Big or small, when we share our joy, it changes us and it bonds us. There are lots of things that bring me joy that are unique to me. One of my great joys is animals. I've talked about this before, even from up here. And specifically my dogs are something that bring me an immense amount of joy. And you know, some of my college friends, even my college boyfriend, not Nate, from before this, kind of made fun of me. Oh no, stop. Kind of made fun of it and borderline mocked me for the joy that it brought me. And it was hurtful, and I was embarrassed, and I felt like I then had to justify why I needed my mom to bring my dog to visit me when I was in college. Or I would second guess if I should share that part of myself with people. And the bottom line is, when something brings us joy, we want to share it. It is meant to be shared. Whether it's something small or something life-changing that the Lord has revealed to us. Which means that when someone shares something with you that brings them joy, how should we respond? Romans says that we should rejoice with them. It says, rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. It doesn't say only rejoice if you understand the thing that brings that person joy. Because joy is something that the Holy Spirit gives us. And it's just one of the ways that we share in the Spirit through unity as believers. Galatians 5:22 lists out the fruits of the Spirit. 22 and 23, excuse me. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. And just for the record, these all come with the Holy Spirit. It's not like a fruit you pick off a tree. You don't just pluck patience and then say, no, I'm even joy today. Because the Holy Spirit gives all of those. It is a singular fruit, not multiple fruits. Right? So if we have the Holy Spirit, we have joy, and we must share it. In 2 John, he says, I have much more to say to you, but I don't want to do it with paper and ink. For I hope to visit you soon and talk with you face to face. together in order to share all the things with believers. This is another facet of Hygge that I learned about, is that it's not done alone. It's actually not possible to do Hygge alone. It must be with others. And so John, again, he wants to be together with the believers to share all those things. And so when we're together, that joy can be deep and profound that the Lord has revealed to you. Or it could be a simple moment with your animals, or decorating for Christmas, or gathering with family, or just lighting a bunch of candles to remind us who is the light of the world. And lastly, joy is now and not yet. Much like other Christian principles, joy is something that we both participate actively in now, and we receive it from our relationship with Jesus, and we receive it from the Holy Spirit, but it is not complete. And so we get to practice joy. We get to choose joy and look forward to the complete joy at the end. James says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow." Perhaps it's helpful to think of joy being a muscle that has to be worked out. It has to be practiced, it has to be chosen. Maybe it even has to be created. When there is hardship, we remember to lean into the joy. Joy in the Lord, and joy in the goodness that he gives us, both through big and little things. That's how we live out joy in the now. And we get even more insight from the Apostle Paul about joy now and joy later. He says, again back in Romans, here we go. "Therefore, since we have been made right in God's sight by faith, we have peace with God because of what Jesus Christ our Lord has done for us. Because of our faith, Christ has brought us into this place of undeserved privilege, where we now stand, and we confidently and joyfully look forward to sharing God's glory. We can rejoice, too, when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. We joyfully look forward to sharing God's glory. And while we are waiting, Paul says, always be full of joy in the Lord." I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. We have joy now and not yet. Worship team, if you guys want to start making your way up here. Make a commitment to practicing joy this week. Maybe something that you talked about at the table that you're going to do. Who's going to hold you accountable to that? I'll make sure my mom decorates for Christmas. But who's going to hold you accountable to what you're going to do to practice joy, to cultivate joy this week? Maybe you text someone. You post about it on our Facebook group. Tell us what you did. Or make your own video and post it. Or tell your roommate. Or tell your spouse. Tell your life group. And we challenge you to do something, to follow through and share that joy. Because we get to celebrate the joy that Jesus brings in his first coming on Christmas, as we look forward to the second coming and the complete joy that we receive in. This verse in Romans is perfect to close. It has 3 of the 4 Advent words that we are studying. I pray that God, the source of hope, will fill you completely with joy and peace because you trust in him. Then you will overflow with confident hope through the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, so we're going to close with a few songs. We'll worship here to close out the service. So if you want to stand and join us, that'd be great.
gave everything he had to have a relationship with me, and that's just incredible. And I think that's just the overwhelming hope that we have. I love the line, "Oh Holy Night." It's the thrill of hope. We get the thrill of hope because of Jesus. So let's sing with that thrill of hope, that hope in our destination.